those. Jamie Greene to be followed by David Torrance. Jamie Greene.
I won't be offended if you don't clap after my speech. That's okay. Presiding Officer, I'd like to thank and congratulate Jenny Gilroy for bringing this to the Chamber floor this evening. And I'd also like to pay that tribute to the Rail Campaign for the work that they're doing to bring in this local issue to the forefront of debate in the Scottish Parliament. I'm also aware and reliably told that my local 5 Conservative group are in favour of the reinstatement of this line. As we look forward to consider how we improve Scotland's national railways, much of the discussion in this place is around the big ticket items and the connectivity between our main cities. It is very, very important that we consider the positive impact that small railway lines can have on local communities. Importantly, we should always remember at the heart of this debate is that railways are not just modes of transport. They are key parts of local, regional and indeed national economic development. They enhance trade, they encourage investment, they create jobs and prosperity in the process as well. Better connectivity in Scotland will spur growth and help facilitate a collaborative economic environment between our cities, regions and towns. And that's why I do believe that there's a strong case for this. Now, I will admit that naturally I approach calls for new railway lines and links quite cautiously. These are substantially expensive infrastructure investments, and as we all know, all governments are tightening their purses. Now, often these campaigns... I'm happy to, yeah.
Thank you, President Officer. I'm grateful for the member taking that intervention. Does the member believe that there's the same restraint in calling for road building projects?
Jamie Greene.
I think any major infrastructure spend, whether it's a road, a railway line, an airport, a bridge, has to be looked at on the merits of the advantages that that investment will bring to the communities that it serves at both ends of it. A road is no different to a rail line. In this instance, I think there's a very obvious business case for this line which would merit the substantial investment that it clearly requires. I say substantial. In the grand scheme of things, we could argue that it's not. As I said, I do approach these things naturally quite cautiously, but you know, these campaigns are often led by local people, and I'm very taken by the energy that's come out of the local campaign on this, and I'm pleased to participate in this debate. I think the estimated cost of around 80 million would connect Leven, Buckhaven and Methil, as well as not just locally, but also improving access to the wider areas, such as Glenrothes, Fife, and even into the capital itself. There are around 50,000 people living in that catchment area who would benefit from this line, and I think it would also present significant transport and connectivity improvements to any new house build or business expansion in that area as well. So, for example, I've heard that access to key industrial sites with freight would be provided. Now, we're all keen to get as much freight off the road and onto rails as we can. This is a perfect opportunity to do so. I think also the Stag report, which was published last year, recommended this project. I would like to quote from it, because one thing struck me specifically. The scheme has the potential to provide a step change in the economic performance of a large population area. As well as helping to regenerate economic activity, this will provide a gateway to significantly boost tourism. I think that's very important that we bear that in mind. It's not just about commuters, it's actually about encouraging people from other parts of Scotland to Jenny Gilroy's area. It also noted the potential to attract inwards investment and support increased business activity in the area, with the net cost-benefit ratio to be around 1.3. That sounds good to me from a business point of view. I'm aware that it also has some environmental repercussions. This could go to reduce CO2 emissions in the Fife area, and also decrease levels of road congestion, which I think is something we all want to do. So I think there is a business case for reinstating this link, but I think to move things forward, I think we do need to have an open conversation about the funding, about who's going to pay for it, how it's going to be paid for. And with these types of projects, it's very important that the scope is set out properly from day one. These projects often have a tendency to go over budget due to poor scoping in the first place. So I think any cost analysis we do on the total cost of the project should be quite succinct, so that the Minister is able to make and take a view on this with all the facts at hand. I am intrigued to find out, perhaps in his speech, he may give us some more rationale as to why it wasn't included in the Edinburgh City deal. I think there is general disappointment from across the chamber. It's also been noted in the local press as well. So any comments you have on that would we welcome. I do wish Jenny Garuth very well in her pursuit of this link. These benches are happy to be a constructive part of that dialogue, and I look forward to seeing some results. Thank you.